y'all, welcome to Cooking on the Farm. I am Rachel and today we are going to do my absolute favorite pie, which is a strawberry pie. I'm going to have David do a close-up of this. This is my recipe. If your recipe, you know, looking through your grandma, your great-grandma, your friend, everybody, the recipe looks like this, you know it's good. You're going to need a pan of some sort. I'm going to finish putting a 1.5 cups of berries that are chopped up. I got to finish chopping them in there with 3/4 cup sugar and then 2/3 cup water. We're going to bring this to a boil. You'll also need cornstarch or tapioca. Okay guys, for the vanilla pudding, you're going to need 1/2 cup of sugar, 6 tablespoons of either cornstarch or tapioca starch, 2 cups of cold milk, a pinch of salt, a 2-finger pinch of salt, and then after it's cooked, you're gonna need vanilla and an egg. Y'all need a pie crust too. Okay guys, so I am just, bringing this to a boil. The recipe says cook for 5 minutes. I cook this until the berries are kind of like mush, baby food. I am also gonna move my cold pie crust over here somewhere. If you're looking for a pie crust recipe, it will be in the description below or up here or over there, or however David works that. So my pudding, literally, you just dump your milk. Then you're going to dump your sugar and cornstarch or tapioca flour. But I just like cornstarch better in this. I feel like the pudding stays together better. And if you just want to make pudding, this is a really good recipe. 2-finger pinch of salt. Take life with a grain of salt, guys. All right, you'll notice I'm going to use the same whiskey thing for both of these. It doesn't matter. So I am going to just kind of get everything mixed, make sure there's no clumpies, make sure it's not sticking, then turn your heat on. You'll see as this pudding is going, it's going to go from, it just looks like milk to super, 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 super thick really fast. So while it's just starting to heat up, we need to beat that egg over here. So guys, I'm just going to give this kind of a rough beat. It doesn't have to be perfect. You will come back to this guy, I promise. So I am just kind of stirring back and forth, making sure that this guy doesn't have any thickening yet. Another thing that you can do is you can take a potato masher and mash this. I would not put like an immersion blender. That's just that you're going to strain this out. That's why I'm not too worried about little leaves and things like that. So I'm hearing this guy is starting to bubble, so I need to get in here. And it is the same if you use cornstarch, tapioca, anything like that. So I'm starting to thicken up. I'm going to turn this down. I had this on pretty high heat just to get it going. So you'll see it's going from like super, thin milk to I'm actually getting pudding. So this is how easy it is to make homemade pudding, guys. So I have that beaten egg over there. So I'm going to do what's called tempering my egg. So this is multitasking. So if you want to bring a little kid in that can stir, it gets crazy. You're just going to temper your eggs. I am literally going to put little droplets in here, and as it goes, I am just whisking. So what I'm doing is getting my eggs heated up. And it will look scrambly, but that will go away, don't worry. So get that stirred. Grab another blub. And you don't have to be quite as gentle with this one. But again, keep it moving. Woo! And one more blub, and you can just dump that guy in. So now you kind of feel your bowl. If your bowl is feeling warm, you are good to go. I'm going to turn my attention to this guy really quick, and I'm going to turn this guy off. We'll get to him in a second. At this point, this doesn't taste good. But wait. Oh, wait. So you're going to do what we did before, but slowly get this going. And it's going to look a lumpy mess. Just keep pouring, just keep stirring. So again, I turned my heat off. If y'all are making vanilla pudding, this is where you would put a lot of vanilla. So like several tablespoons. I'm gonna put 2 teaspoons in. I like to taste that vanilla. I'm gonna get the heat going back on this. Stirring it constantly. You are going to wait till it blubs. And by blub, I mean as you're stirring it, it goes blup, blup. And yes, it does make that sound. All right, you can hear it. Can you hear that blub? All right, turn it off and take it off your burner. I'm going to scrape my sides down. And this is where you stick this guy into your fridge. Now, I don't like to put super smoking hot things like that in my fridge. So I'm gonna let this sit here till it comes to super close to room temperature. Then I'm gonna put some plastic wrap on the top, then put it in my fridge. So I am just gonna take a measuring cup and just strain this into this bowl. So all I'm doing is straining out all the berries, the few leaves that got in there. And I'm making a beautiful syrup to top our pie. So I'm just stirring this. It smells amazing. And like I was saying, use your berries that don't look so great, like bruised berries, berries that you kind of had to cut a little bit of a boo-boo off, or the ones that aren't quite ripe yet. You are adding a lot of sugar to this, so they're gonna get sweet. One time I went and bought berries at a farmer's market, and all the berries on top were gorgeous. The berries underneath were nasty. They were just like not even close to ripe. And so I just took all the berries that were underneath and I made this. Sauce came out the same color. I did put a few of the red berries in there, but not very many. All right, so then this, scrape off your bottom. I'm gonna put a tablespoon or 2, not measured, just, you know, a little bit of a something in there. All right, dump this guy back in here. So my little couple tablespoons here, I'm gonna add that cornstarch. 1.5 tablespoons of cornstarch. So you don't wanna put it directly in a hot pan. You could just do this in cold water, like a little bit of cold water. Mix this in. You're essentially kind of making a slurry. So I'm gonna put my heat on here on like a medium. Give that a stir till it kind of gets going. If you feel like there's just too many lumpies for you guys, you could strain it. Again, if you do it in cold water or get some of your sauce that's cold, it'll thicken up. I did accidentally one time put all of it in the very beginning before I mashed it. That was a pain to strain. You don't want to make you don't want to use a whisk here. You want to keep it moving, but you don't want to create tons and tons of bubbles. What I'm waiting for is a little bit of kind of some bubbles, like heat bubbles along the sides. So guys, I'm seeing some bubbles coming. You can kind of see how it's kind of getting a little bit more clear. Like it's kind of murky, I guess is a word, and it's starting to clear up. And that is where we want to be. So I'm going to turn this off. So there are still a little bit of white chunks in here. That is completely fine. All right, I am going to grab some plastic wrap. I'm going to cover this guy. I'm going to cover this guy. These guys are going to go into the refrigerator for about an hour. But while all my things are cooling, I am going to make up the whipped topping that goes inside. All right, so you're going to need 1 container. It's about 2 cups of heavy whipping cream, 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar, a 1 finger pinch of salt, a teaspoon, but y'all know me by now, of vanilla. So we're gonna bake this until it gets stiff peaks. So if you're ever making whipped topping and it is like overbeaten, always hold back about a tablespoon or 2 of your heavy whipping cream that's not beaten. Dump it in there and it will bring it back from potential butter. All right, so this looks amazing. I'm just gonna take, I don't know, 1/2 cup-ish, and I'm just gonna kind of start loosening my pudding up. This is starting to loosen up. What I'm gonna do is dump it all back in here. scrape this. I'm gonna give it like 30 seconds on high, and then look what we got going on. So I'm just gonna give this guy a quick little, make sure it's all completely combined. Funny story about my pie crust. I actually froze this 8 months ago, guys. I cooked it after, like I thawed it, and I cooked it, but I forgot to put, it was 11:30 at night. I forgot to put any sort of weight in the bottom. I did poke the holes, but the sides have slid down a little bit. So we're working with what we have. All right, so I'm just gonna plop this guy in here. All right, now comes the fun part. This is the knife that I have been kind of showing you guys. I did a whole video on it. The Vastid knife. I hope I'm saying that right. I love it, and I'm gonna be buying more. All right, so you're gonna chop your strawberries in half, and then put the thick sides down, and kind of, we're arranging them. There's been like a lot of lunch ideas on YouTube for like how to make cool school lunches. Well, I learned how to make a rose. So you kind of cut in a little bit and peel back on all sides. And then you kind of go at the corner, 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 corner. And you have a little rose. I'm giving this guy a good stir. Okay, so story time. When I was a little girl, Mary Poppins was my absolute favorite show. I would watch it every day after school. I was picked on and beat up a lot at school, and that was the only thing that made me happy when I got home. That and a pickle and an apple. Don't ask who the food source is. Anyway, whenever summer came around, my mom would make this. She would grab a big kitchen spoon, like soup spoon, and she would give me a scoop, and she would say a spoonful of medicine or a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. And then I'd eat it. So I'm not gonna eat that for you. But so what you do, so you've pushed these guys in. You can push them in super far, not, it doesn't matter. Just so they're not like all over the place falling out. And then you just slowly pour this on. And you wanna cover all the white. And to make the strawberries look good, you wanna kind of give them a little zhuzh also. Now, I'm gonna grab my spoon. I'm gonna set this guy back in the fridge for about 20 minutes or so, half hour. Honestly, it should sit in there for about an hour to let kind of everything meld together. But we ain't gonna wait that long. Let's just face it, we ain't gonna wait that long. The first piece of any pie never comes out pretty, so. You can taste the vanilla pudding, that strawberry, the kind of the glaze, not too sweet, perfect, like, it's literally summer in a pie. I hope you guys try this. Let me know what your favorite pie is. All right, guys, God bless. I gotta clean this up first. I'll have to clean this up. Can I do my other ingredients?
I didn't guess you put the
Super dark like this, nasty. My earring just fell off. I look like I'm
to your left.
I'm flying in a plane, guys. Okay, and I will clean the rest of that guy out in a second. Ooh, that's hot. I'll show you what to do with this new spatula. I'm gonna grab a spoon. Good grief. Get another, oh my gosh, spatulas and me today. Good gravy. Bubblage, oh my word. You have a lot of blurpers in this one.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.